you can't see the hill where we were before, but in the general direction of that highest hill over there in the middle, it has a little bump and another hill on the other side. You don't really do anything with it. It isn't farmable, and it's a chore to have fence around all of it because the trees will blow down on it. It's not that good anyway, but the smoke you see is the generating plant down there at Coonsville. Well, it's where I can see the furthest. You know, in the fall, it's beautiful down there. You can already see the trees are changing color. And that hill, that's been stripped over there. That's ours, too. They're supposed to put the topsoil back on top of it. Somehow it gets mixed up and it isn't quite as good as it was originally. Then they plant it down, because if they don't, it erodes. You have gullies. And they did a decent job here, I guess, as good as you could do. But it isn't back to its original state, which you could farm it if it were like that. But this has if you plowed it up, you'd have stones in it. When they called it Operation Green Earth, it was anything but Green Earth. That was when Peabody Coal was in here. If I had to guess, I'd say 50 years ago. They were going full steam in here. And of course, just about all the hills you see in any direction had coal under them. Remember, I said the people that mine coal could get this level, see where the next vein of coal was. If it came out a certain place on that hill, that's where the coal would be.
So you think the hill was actually higher before, like it was?
Oh, it must have been, yeah. See, that's what I was getting at when I said we have no comprehension of time. You know, centuries don't mean anything in the grand scheme of things. What if our Earth is like a molecule, and we farmers are like dandruff? We're stirring the earth up. Who knows? We may just be an irritation to the earth. But it's a beautiful area in there. But when you get up in the air, you see mostly hills around here. And the most fertile areas, of course, are the river valleys. That's where most of the farms are. Well, we farm about 1,900 acres, half of which would be corn, half which is soybeans, and we own maybe half of that. The rest we rent. And in fact, we have corn planted right down here. Maybe you didn't notice. You don't want to do it on too steep a slope, or it will get gullies too. And today, we are convinced anyway that no-till is the answer. You don't turn it over with a moldboard plow, or you don't stir it up with a chisel plow. You just basically work an area where you're going to plant. You know, maybe 6 inches wide, 3 or 4 inches deep, and handle the weeds with chemicals. So that's it's kind of a trade-off. You put chemicals instead of burning energy to plow and work the ground, so on. So we've done it in corn for maybe 5 or 6 years, and so it's all done that way. It takes several years for the condition of the soil. The first 5 years, you see a greater advantage in no-till than any time later, but it can, the experts say, it keeps getting better. Till night crawlers or whatever's in there gets better up to 20 years. The first 5 years are the most productive from that standpoint of soil.